Welcome to another book review podcast by Team ThinkerViews. Hope you are doing great at various aspects of your lives. The modern competitive world comes with so many technological advancements and its side effects. Balancing in this competitive era is really tough. The life in the corporate world is even more challenging. Actually, you got some fantastic perks in those jobs. It all depends upon the management, especially your immediate boss, your team, and the top management, of course. You may have a really meaningful and enjoyable life there due to them, or they can make it a hell too. It depends upon the persona of the individuals you work with rather than their corporate position. Himanshu Bhatia is a talented author and we know him since his book Just Missed. We will share a quick link to our book review for the same in the description below. A few months ago, his second book, Day to Resign, read as Day to Live, is released. Though we got our review copy since long, it took time for its turn to come as we have a long list of books to be read and reviewed. From our team, I got a chance to read it and I am really happy for this opportunity as reading this book was an interesting experience for me. We love to talk about the book cover because for us it is the gateway to the virtual world explored within and it makes the first impression of the book. So, if a cover page is attractive, it surely catches your attention when displayed in a set of books and you're probably going to pick it, and eventually if you find the blurb or initial impression of the book quite amazing or promising, you may want to read it. Of course, we cannot judge a book by its cover, but we cannot deny the influence of a cover page on book picking and or book reading decisions for sure. As the dark times the protagonist is facing in his professional life is explored in this book, along with the challenging situations the coronavirus brought for all. The dark background suits the book cover. It also represents the polished looking corporate world. The illustration of a lady boss adding pressure to one of her poor employee or subordinate reflects the theme of the book quite well. The striped letters for Resign reflecting a cardiogram is very thoughtful. The red and white color text used for title adds to the detail. A very thoughtful and interesting cover page for sure. Now let us take a bird's eye view to the storyline of the book. Atharva Arora is a young and enthusiastic professional working in a corporate. He is blessed with a good and loving family. Like his parents, his wife Gauri is also very understanding and caring. To add to his luck, Atharva is fortunate to have Varun as his immediate boss. Varun is a gem of a person and his way of leading a team is really effective and human. Atharva is offered a promotion where his department and team has to be changed. For his career, it seems a good opportunity. Mandira Sharma will be his new boss, if he accepts the offer, of course. He consulted Varun and eventually made his decision to move ahead in the race of life. Mandira is a kind of boss who loves to get reported for minute things. Actually, she expects her team members should devote all their time to the work they are doing. Nothing else matters. It isn't wrong to say that she considers her team members as mere subjects or robots. The work environment is really twisted for Atharva. Of course, he is a dedicated person and hard work is not something he is shy of doing. Will he be able to set in this new work regime? How will things move ahead from here? And yes, the corona pandemic had also shown its ugly face. Will it affect Atharva and or his family? Will it affect his work-life balance? Well, you need to read this book to get the answers. Now here are my views and reviews for this book. Spread over in 21 chapters, Dare to Resign, Dare to Live by Himanshu Bhatia is a fictional account of a corporate employee and the people around whom his life revolves. The USP of the book is a realistic exploration of situations. The way Himanshu has explored the things is really commendable. Most of the people who have worked or are working in the corporate world will be able to connect with it quite easily. Does that mean other readers may not connect with it? No, absolutely not. Even if you haven't worked in such environment, then also you must have seen others working in the field and may have heard their experiences. In addition, the book has a lot of other stuff to explore: the middle class family life, the tour to Paris, corona pandemic, social events. There are so many things you can connect with quite easily. I also like to quote an important point from author's thoughts mentioned in this book. As my beat of the workforce Smiles initiative, for every copy of this book sold, 10 rupees will be directly contributed and spent on a social cause. We really appreciate him for this initiative. The author gives us the glimpses of what to expect from the book before even the prologue. In the dedication page, you will find he wrote, "To the horrible bosses and their poor slaves." And that block also shows time as 23 and 50 minutes, that is 11 and 50 minutes in the night, to add to the impact. This block also shows the time stamp as 23 and 50 minutes, that is 11 and 50 minutes in the night, to add to the impact. The book starts with a very positive note, referring Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, one of the most loved presidents of India, that is Bharat. 2020, the year by which India was supposed to be a superpower, a developed country as per the vision of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the former President of India, stated in his book India 2020. It starts with the incidents happened during March 2020 in Delhi, India, and eventually you are introduced to a thread starting from November 2018 in Gurgaon, India. There is a segment exploring 2016 timeline as well, the exploration of COVID situation and how it affects the lives of all the prime characters of the book makes it contemporary. Here is an interesting blog that not only shows the contemporary situation but also explores the persona of the boss from the protagonist's point of view. While people across the country were learning to come to terms with being locked in their homes to avoid being infected by the coronavirus, I was on the call with the virus in my life. To cement the persona of the boss, the author takes conversations like, "Atharva," she interjected, "as you are aware, we are working with really tight deadlines on this. I believe it would save us 15 or 20 minutes if you would have your tea at your desk." 2 weeks passed by in a blur under the pressure of the enormous amount of work on the new product, much more than I had anticipated, thanks to Mandira's signature working style of complicating things. The book has some management gems as well. Planning has to be realistic. If it takes 3 months to complete a project on a realistic basis, making a finishing milestone at the end of 2.5 months makes sense. You are then likely to finish the project on time. However, if you plan to complete the same project in a month's time, you will not only miss the 1 month deadline for certain, but are also likely to overshoot the realistic 3 months deadline. This understanding is nothing new or great, it is a common sense. The author is good at exploring characters. Almost all the characters are explored so nicely that you find them realistic. The persona of Atharva Arora, Mandira Sharma, Varun, Vaibhav, Pooja Batra, Kartik, Ranjan, Gauri, Niharika, Chaitanya, and others will remain with you even after you complete the book. And while reading it, you may be able to connect them with some people you know. I consider it as a success of the author. The author is good at wordplays. Here is an example. I have realized over time that in the corporate world, human bosses often mistake themselves to be pseudo gods, or rather, pseudo corporate gods. Wow! To continue the impactful conversation, the author also adds, by virtue of their position, they consider themselves above all. While they see themselves as indispensable, their reportees are mere replaceable robots to them, who are expected to work according to their whims and fancies. Getting new ones is as easy for them as placing an order on Amazon. You will enjoy the exploration of the Paris trip and would love to see Paris and the protagonist's travel journey from the author's point of view. The way he has infused office work pressure within is commendable. There are many aspects of the book, but talking about them will reveal many spoilers from the book that I want to avoid as far as possible. The book is not about the negative sides of the corporate world. It also has some fantastic bosses like a manager is happy as long as his team members are, Varun replied. And I counted my blessings for having got such an awesome manager. The book ends on a positive note and conveying a very meaningful message. While the pandemic wasn't under your control, you are your own master. Don't let a virus sow the seeds of negativity in your feelings and attitude. Hold on to your humanity, your empathy, and your humility even after the pandemic recedes. Be a good human being. So, what is the conclusion? Well, an interestingly written book exploring realistic situations in corporate world and modern lifestyle. Working professionals will be able to connect with it quite easily. I liked reading it. ThinkerViews rating would be around 7.5 to 8 stars out of 10. So, have you already read the book? Are you planning to read it? What do you think about this book review? Do you find it helpful in deciding whether to go for the book or not? Please do share your genuine remarks via comments below. If you have enjoyed listening to the review, please hit the like button and do not forget to share it with your friends and other fellows whom you think such reviews interest more. Till we meet with our next podcast, bye bye, take care, namaskar.